Good evening. It's still Thursday, October 10th, and it is 7:50 PM, and we're going to begin the Finance Committee meeting, and I am Linda Stone, and we will begin with going around the room. Roll call to my left.
Joe Hidalgo, School Board.
Ann Horner, School Board.
Bob Hickey, School Board.
Jota Piley, School Board.
Tracy Oseki, School Board.
Matthew McCarthy, Tech Integration.
Ed Tate, School Board.
Nicole Khan, School Board.
David Bolton, Interim Director of Technology.
Andrea Mangle, Director of District Communications.
Jessica Binda, Supervisor of Facilities.
Anthony Rapp, Director of Business Administration.
Michael Roosevelt, School Board.
Andy Sanko, Superintendent.
And this evening, Anthony Rapp will begin the meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Stone. I'd like to start off by, with our reminder that for the most accurate and reliable information concerning our district, please refer to resources, websites, and social media platforms managed by the Council Rock School District. We advise the community to exercise caution when relying on the accuracy of social media and ask the community to verify any social media content with the district for accuracy. If you question what you are seeing, need a fact check, or additional details on a matter, please reach out to the district directly. Our contact information is readily available on our website at www.crsd.org. Thank you. So for tonight's agenda for the Finance Committee, we have a 4-item agenda. The renewal of Tyler Muniz, the renewal of Google Workspace, to approve the Homestead Farmstead 24-25 agreement with the IU, Bucks County IU, and 23-24 interfund transfers. And that refers back to last year's interfund transfers. The first item is the Tyler Muniz renewal. This software is the Human Resources and Business Office software. It's in the business office. We use it for payroll. We use it for paying for checks. We use it for the accounting system. So it's a very vital piece of software for the business office as well as Human Resources, where they use that to record information about employees and keep their salary amounts correct, their options for benefits, all that kind of information is in the Tyler Muniz system for them. The cost for before credit is $149,723 for the year, which is the same price as the 23-24. However, we use Tyler Muniz for our portal for open enrollment, and there were some issues with it for employee open enrollment, and so they gave us we negotiated a $10,000 credit as a return for that issue, for those issues that we had. So the final cost for 24-25 is $139,723. So again, this is for the next year for this important software. Wow. Next item on the agenda is the Google Workspace renewal. This is 24-25 renewal of Google Workspace software. This is a business version level of this software, and it's basically all your Google applications: Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Sites, Meet, Chat, and Jamboard. There are, this is heavily used in the. I believe all the elementary schools use this software.
Teaching platform.
It's a teaching platform for the elementary schools. Plus, it is used by administration and teachers for other things. A lot of the information that we sent out is worked on in Google Workspace. Used throughout the district. The cost is $45,750 for 1 year, and it is the same cost as last year.
I got a question. You indicated this is used throughout the district?
Yes.
For both, for school and for administration.
Yes.
So I see Gmail up there and I see chat. Does that mean teachers and administrators are communicating with each other or families over either of these?
No. So I put Gmail up there as in just to list the applications that are in this. We do not use Gmail. It's not used, like, it's not used within the district, so.
Same with chat?
Yeah, I don't believe we use, I mean,
This might be a Matt question.
Staff can use Google Chat. It is turned off for the students.
Okay. So staff can communicate to each other and to others
Correct.
over Google Chat?
I don't think that's the primary because you have to have Gmail open in order to communicate over Google Chat, and our staff email communication is not done over Gmail servers, it's done through Microsoft Outlook.
Okay.
Where students do use Gmail, so student accounts are Gmail based for their email communications, but chat has been turned off for that.
Okay, so any chat that might occur is being backed up because it's running through the Microsoft Outlook servers?
Any emails for staff would be through Outlook, correct?
Okay. What about chat?
Chats are backed up in the Google Workspace, so they'd be available as well.
How, I don't think Google Workplace maintains a long record or backup of these chats.
Last time I had checked, I still have chats open from 2015 when I was teaching at Richboro Middle School between the other computer teachers.
Okay.
So that's going on almost 10 years. I don't know, I couldn't tell you the length of how it's maintained, but so far.
All right. So we do encourage staff to not use chat, and if they do, it's backed up, is what I'm hearing.
I wouldn't say we encourage staff to use or not use, I just don't think it's a feature that many of them are familiar with, because
Okay.
our staff have no reason to go into Gmail, because their email communication is done through Outlook.
Great, thank you.
any other questions? The next item on the agenda is the 24-25 Homestead Farmstead Agreement. It's with Bucks County Intermediate Unit, and they will print, advertise, and mail homestead exclusion notices in December. Basically, this is anyone who's purchased property in the district is required by, we're required by law to notify them of the ability to sign up for the homestead or farmstead exclusion. If we, the IU does this for the entire county, and it by pooling the costs and the responsibility, it keeps costs down and makes it more cost effective for everyone. The estimated cost that they gave us is 90.6 cents per parcel, which is 2 cents greater than the prior year estimated cost. And the total cost in 23-24 from the IU for this was $5,984.37 for 7,409 parcels. Now, I would like to point out that it would have been 88.6 was the estimated cost last year. If you do the math and divide that 5,984.37 by 7,409, you would get less than 88 cents per parcel. It would be closer to 80 cents per parcel. So that's the estimated cost. The actual cost was per parcel was a lot less. So obviously they don't know how many homes are going to need notices, so the cost per parcel will fluctuate, but they give us an estimated cost. Okay.
I have a question. So, just quickly, how can individuals find out about homestead exclusion? Who would they call? New residents?
Well, I mean, the point of this is to send them letters so that they know that, to let them know, a regular letter saying
Right.
you should, here's the application, please fill it out and return it to the county. If they had questions about it, they would have to contact the county.
They contact the county?
Yes, we don't
Okay.
do anything other than provide notice, and this is, the IU takes on the responsibility of providing notice for us. So we don't get the applications, we don't look at them here at the district or anything like that. It's strictly done at the county level.
There's a tab on our website directing people to the homestead farmstead exclusion application portal. It's a link out.
From,
It's on
From
Council Rock's
Council Rock?
website directing
Oh, great.
us out.
The last item on the agenda is 23-24 interfund transfers. So we're still working on the financials, obviously. We were audited last week. Well, I should say audit field work was done last week. It'll be a little bit till we get our final audit numbers in. But these are numbers that we are asking you to approve at the board meeting because we know that these are the numbers that will need transferred among the various funds. This does not include anything that we're going to do. Eventually we're going to recommend an end of year transfer to the capital reserve fund. That this is not that. This is actual business business transfers. Transfers that were for actual activity during the year. So we'd like to transfer from the general fund, the food service fund, the cost of, since our high schools are not on the food service, on the school lunch program or the school breakfast program, the district funds that through the general fund, and we have to fund it through the general fund if we don't have enough money made in the high schools to fund it, and this year we did not. So in order to fund that, we would like to transfer $274,187.64, then 64 cents for the free and reduced breakfast and lunch. We'd also like to transfer $5,701.13 for student lunch balances that were not paid for graduating students who graduated and did not pay that. The high schools, this was the first year, so we did make a change in the way that we account for the high schools, and we separated. So it used to be that everything was all in one big pot, and the problem with that is we didn't have money separated out for the high schools. But if we separate out the money for the high schools, we can do, when it makes money, we can do with that what we want. We can reduce these transfers or even eliminate them depending on how much money is made in the high schools. If it's mixed in with the elementary schools and the middle schools which are on the program, we can't use that money for the high schools because there's federal money mixed in there. So in order to avoid that, we've now separated out the high schools and we're accounting for them separately. Unfortunately, this year there was actually a loss in the high schools overall of $28,313.82. So we do have to subsidize that from the general fund. And then finally, there was a donation made from Giant that we did use to reduce some other student balances of $13,239.93. Because that went into the general fund and we need to move it to the food service fund, we're asking you to approve that transfer. So we're asking for a total transfer approval from the general fund to the food service fund of $321,442.52.
I have a question about the Giant donation program. So that just goes into like the general food balance? It's not specifically used for?
No, we use it to reduce specific student balance.
Okay, that was my question. That's great.
It's for needy students that we reduce their balance.
That's great, thank you.
And then the next transfer is from the general fund to the capital reserve fund. Usually when we get a PTO donation, we're able to pay for that out of the general fund because it's its own thing. It's its own project. But because the playground work was being done out of the capital reserve fund, we had to transfer the money that we received from the PTO into the capital reserve fund in order to use that to pay for the expenses that the PTO was reimbursing us for.
Question regarding that. Was their PTO donation an enhancement on the projects that we were gonna do?
It was
Okay,
it was,
so
it
it
was
went in
things that were
addition.
not in the original project. We had brought that before the board.
All right, I know, just
You don't
double
always-
checking. It's very good.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
wanna make sure that we're not,
It's basically just a housekeeping thing that we can't pay for a capital reserve fund project out of the general fund, so we have to move it to the capital reserve fund and then pay it.
sure,
It's
making
accounting
sure it went to
term.
an enhancement.
They're just accounting terms to publicly show, right?
Yes,
That you have to handle this
Yes.
money from this account to another account.
yes. And we do not have the ability to deposit money into our capital reserve fund. We can only do it via transfer. Excuse me.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a slightly related question. Since we're on the topic of food service, this is where it's coming from. Have we, or could we, prepare some sort of a survey of the new students of what they think of the new food that's been in the cafeterias? I know that on some level, high school students particularly are always going to be unhappy with some of their food. But with this is a new vendor that we have, and we went through a wonderful process. It sounds like the district went through to have taste tests and all of this, and this vendor was selected. I'm interested in some, I don't know, level of data of is the food that they're eating consistent with what was taste tested, and are they happy over last year, which presumably they were not happy with.
So I'll take the first swing at that.
Okay.
The short answer is yes, because we discussed this as a cabinet today. Aramark has surveys built into their work. And when Tony brought that to cabinet today, I asked him to slow it down so we're not inundating the community right now with surveys. And that's why we were laughing, because he actually has met with Amy Sura and the food service committee, and they're ready to go. And I just asked Tony to be strategic about that during the conversation. So yeah, the short answer is yes, absolutely. That's part of what Aramark will do.
With Aramark ready to go, is this something that Aramark could facilitate?
It would be facilitated by Aramark.
Outstanding, great.
And if they'd like to do, not only a survey, they'd also like to do some focus groups in different schools with students. We did have the first food service advisory committee yesterday. That went very well. Our parents on the committee one of them said she might cry. She was so happy with how the meeting went. I'm not looking at her, and she's a great person to have on the committee. She is very thorough and does a great job. So, she's the backbone of that committee and making sure that things run well. So that we can, Aramark is very interested in keeping our kids happy and making sure that we do everything. They do everything that we ask them to do, and I think so far it's worked out very well.
Ms. Khan had a question for me.
I guess just following up with before the survey, which I think is a great idea, and I'm glad to hear that will be happening. I think it was at the last meeting, you said there was like a 22 day period before Aramark actually got to implement their new items, and I had to go back and backpedal to my son to say, oh, yeah, the menu hasn't started yet, because I had been asking him questions.
Yes.
So do you know approximately, has it only been a week then, or a week and a half?
Maybe a week and a half.
Okay,
Started
so
October
I would
1st,
assume the survey is gonna wait until they've had at least,
Yeah, they brought it to our attention
Okay.
Yesterday, asked about it. I said I go to cabinet and we talked about slow playing it a little bit. So,
okay,
but we will.
just to give everyone the opportunity, because clearly my son actually hasn't bought lunch since that change,
Yes,
so,
yes.
okay.
And I'll just talk about here since Mr. Roosevelt brought it up. One thing on October 29th, Aramark is having a spring showcase in Newtown Middle School for their spring food. And the information, I believe all the schools have the information. It is not only for Council Rock School District, but administrators from other districts are invited. But I want to also let we worked it out that any parent or board member or employee who wants to go to that, it's on at 4 o'clock on the 29th at Newtown Middle. Anyone that wants to go to that is welcome to go to that. I believe the information is on our website, but we do ask that if you do want to go, you RSVP, so they know how much food to have available. So that is open to anyone in the Council Rock School District, or any.
I'll send the invitation. I just have,
Yeah,
I'll send it to you.
Is
Okay.
there a different menu for the spring?
It's, yes, they're talking about different items. They have they have whole programs where they talk about like limited time items, different seasonal items. So it's, obviously it's gonna be more, the older the student, the more opportunities for things like that, but there are things for the elementary school students, so I think it's a very exciting time for the school nutrition program, and, you know.
If you took a look at the menu, it's not what it used to be. On the 17th, they're having Thai sun butter chicken with rice. This is elementary school. They have spaghetti bolognese with a breadstick. That's on the 23rd. So it's very different. Very eclectic.
Just, can we confirm if it's at Holland or Newtown?
It's in,
I have it here.
did I say Holland?
No,
You said Newtown Middle School.
So is it at Newtown or
It's in
Holland?
Newtown.
It's in Newtown?
Yeah, I remember that because their office is in Holland, and I was surprised to find out it was in Newtown.
and the new menu is coming out next week, is with the spaghetti bolognese.
Oh, no, that's
and
this
thighs?
month.
That's already happened this month.
That's out,
Got
yep.
it.
I saw mini pancakes and cheesy scrambled eggs, and I want to go on the 16th for that.
Nika, you have another?
Yeah, actually, since we're still talking about Aramark and the menu and the food tasting, just a quick question, either for clarification and also notification for community members or parents. I think that we used to get the calendar at the beginning of the month, usually sent home in like a folder. At least from our school, it was notified that we won't be getting the hard copy anymore. It was only a link to it. Is that, either way, I guess it doesn't matter, but I didn't know if that was across the board.
Well, I can tell you all the menus, this is a first, all menus for the high school and the middle school and the elementary, they provide them for me about a couple of days before the month. So I make sure I post them online, and I know that Amy shares them directly with principals.
Okay.
So if you would prefer maybe a paper copy.
Oh, no, I was just curious. In case there are some schools, especially at the elementary level, if parents are used to seeing it.
Oh, sure.
Then it's always available online, so
Yeah.
more of like a just notification.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially with these new exciting items coming out.
Any other questions?
And then upcoming agenda items, audit results, which I expect to be clean. The current, I want to talk about current year results and do some comparisons. I'm working with our projection vendor on that. I've been taking some classes with them to try to learn how to use that software better. And I just want to bring to the board's attention that we have to do a tax collector manual this year. We have to have it, so we'll be bringing that to you very soon because we have to have that done by December. It has to be available before the primary, before people start filling out petitions for the primary, so they know what the compensation is for the tax collector elected positions in the 5 municipalities.
And Tony, how often and frequently do we have to do that?
We have to do that every 4 years, so it's whenever there's an election. So they're up for election in next year. And so it would, the manual would be effective from 2026 through 2029. So we're coming to the end of the old manual.
Bob?
Are we due soon for a visit from Mr. Karpick?
Yes, I believe that will be next month.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? That's it? I don't think there's anyone online. I
Just-
think
There's nobody in the audience.
there's no one here, there's no one on the phones. I think we can adjourn.
Great for 2 meetings.